Have you ever noticed that peace never seems to stay for long? Just when life feels calm, when you finally start breathing a little easier, something happens that pulls the ground from under your feet. A problem appears out of nowhere, a relationship changes, a fear returns, and suddenly, you find yourself asking a question you never planned to ask. Why does this keep happening to me? Why does it feel like life is a series of tests with no pause in between? If you've ever thought this, I want you to stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may see your struggles in a completely different way. Most people don't ask this question out loud. They carry it quietly, especially at night when the world is silent and there's nothing left to distract the mind. During the day, you stay busy. You smile when required. You tell people you're fine. But inside, there's a constant tension, a feeling that peace is temporary and problems are permanent. You heal from one wound only to discover another waiting for you. And the hardest part isn't the pain itself, it's the confusion. You begin to wonder if you're doing something wrong, or if you're simply unlucky, or worse, if you've somehow been forgotten. What makes it even more difficult is comparison. You look around and see people who seem to be living effortlessly. Their lives appear smooth, organized, and stable. They laugh freely. They move forward confidently. And without realizing it, you start measuring your pain against their peace. You don't hate them. You don't wish them harm. You just quietly ask yourself why your path feels heavier. Why you seem to be constantly rebuilding while others are simply living. If you've ever compared your inner chaos to someone else's calm exterior, pause for a moment and ask yourself this: do you really know what they're carrying when no one is watching? Here's something we rarely talk about. We see lives from the outside, but we experience our own from the inside. That difference alone can distort reality. People don't broadcast their fears, their regrets, their silent breakdowns. Many smiles are survival mechanisms, not signs of peace. Many calm faces hide storms that never make it into conversation. So before you assume that you are the only one struggling, remember this: everyone is fighting something, even if their battle doesn't look like yours. Still, even knowing that, the pain feels real. And at some point, another thought enters the mind. One that feels dangerous but honest. You start wondering if life is testing you on purpose, if there's a reason you keep being pushed. And eventually, you may even ask yourself whether God is distant, silent, or disappointed. This is where many people feel guilty. They believe having these thoughts means their faith is weak. But questioning does not mean disbelief. It means you are human. It means you care enough to seek meaning instead of becoming numb. The truth is, peace was never meant to be permanent in the way we imagine it. We often think peace means everything going right, no disruptions, no losses, no surprises. But life is movement, change, and uncertainty. Expecting constant calm in a constantly changing world sets us up for disappointment. What if peace isn't something that stays, but something that grows? What if it's not a destination you reach once, but a skill you develop over time? Think about this for a moment. Where do you usually look for peace? In people? In stability? In achievements? In control? Most of us attach our sense of calm to external things. We believe that if this person stays, if this situation improves, if this plan works out, then we'll finally relax. But the moment any of those things change, peace collapses. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you placed peace somewhere fragile. Life has a way of teaching lessons repeatedly until we understand them. When something keeps being taken from you, it's painful, but it's also meaningful. Sometimes what's being removed isn't meant to stay forever. Sometimes it was as a support you leaned on so heavily that you forgot to strengthen yourself. Loss doesn't always come to empty us. Sometimes it comes to redirect us. Ask yourself this honestly, and I want you to answer in the comments later. What is one thing you lost that hurt deeply, but later changed you in a way you never expected? Think about it. Not everything that leaves is meant to destroy you. Some things leave to make space for growth you couldn't achieve otherwise. Pain has a strange way of refining people. Comfort keeps us the same. Struggle changes us. When everything is easy, we rarely question our priorities, our attachments, or our direction. But when life becomes heavy, we are forced to slow down and reflect. We begin to see what truly matters and what we were holding on to out of fear rather than love. In this way, pain becomes a teacher, not an enemy. Another hard truth is that repeated tests often come to those who are capable of growth. This doesn't mean suffering is a reward. It means strength is developed through resistance. The people who seem emotionally deep, wise, and grounded are rarely those who had smooth journeys. They are often the ones who were broken, disappointed, and confused multiple times, yet chose not to give up. They learned how to rebuild themselves instead of waiting for life to become easier. There's also something powerful about patience that most people misunderstand. Patience isn't passive. It's not about doing nothing. It's about continuing to live, to hope, and to believe, even when outcomes are uncertain. Patience is the decision to not let bitterness define you. It's choosing growth over resentment. And that choice, repeated daily, slowly creates inner stability. At some point in life, everyone reaches a moment where they feel they can't take anymore. If that's where you are right now, listen carefully. Feeling exhausted does not mean you're failing. It means you've been strong for a long time. Even showing up today, watching this, thinking deeply, means something inside you still wants understanding, not escape. That matters more than you realize. Silence is another part of the process that confuses people. There are moments when answers don't come, when prayers feel unanswered, when nothing seems to change. But silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. Often, it means preparation is happening quietly. Some changes take time because you wouldn't be ready to hold them. Now let me ask you something important, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments. When life becomes difficult, do you become harder or softer? Do you close yourself off, or do you grow more understanding? Your answer reveals a lot about the direction your pain is taking you. Here's what many people realize too late. Peace doesn't come from avoiding pain. It comes from understanding it. When you stop fighting reality and start learning from it, something shifts. You may still face challenges, but they no longer define your worth. You begin to see yourself as someone in progress, not someone who is broken. One day, you will look back at this phase of your life and recognize it as a turning point. You may not see it now, but clarity often comes later. You'll understand why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain plans fell apart. And when that day comes, you won't say, "This destroyed me." You'll say, "This taught me." If this message resonates with you, don't just listen and move on. Reflect. Write down what this phase of your life is teaching you. And if you feel comfortable, share one thought in the comments. What lesson do you think life is trying to show you right now? Your words might help someone else feel less alone. And remember this above all else: peace isn't something you lose forever. It's something you rebuild with understanding, patience, and inner strength. Even when life feels unstable, you are still growing. And growth, even when painful, is a sign that you are moving forward, not falling behind.